Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Everton have just drawn with Chelsea. Yes, Everton have drawn with Chelsea. Let me just paint a picture for you. Chelsea had 80% possession. They had 23 shots to 5. I mean, the stats really just speak for themselves. Our team, let's just add that for a second. Branthwaite, first game of the season. Alice Sims, first start in his career. Anthony Gordon came back into the side. Who else have we got? Oniyango had minutes. Louis Dobbin had minutes. No Alan, no Townsend, no Gray, no Richarlison, no DCL. The list goes on. I could honestly make a good starting 11 from the players we currently have out at the moment. But it allowed us to give these young guys a shot. And these young guys, they've got a point to prove. They haven't had opportunities. They've got a bit of a chip on their shoulder and they bring lots of energy. So, we should not be surprised that these kids want to play for the badge. They want to play for the jumper. And, well, they showed that today. Obviously, you look at the lopsidedness of the possession and the shots as well. But I think, our success today comes down to, a team effort. And you look in goal. Jordan Pickford was absolutely immense. I think he made 7 saves, or 9 saves. He's going to be my man of the match. Absolute rock. There were, I think, 13 shots in the first half. We should have probably been down a goal or 2 at half time, but Jordan Pickford kept those out. And then, there were a few opportunities in the second half. Actually, we probably dominated more so in the second half. And, well, Jordan Pickford, the few shots Chelsea had in the second half, mind you, there were a few of them. Jordan Pickford saved them. Probably the most notable one is the one where Mason Mount had pretty much open look at goal from a couple of yards out, and Jordan Pickford stuck out his right leg, and was able to deflect it out. So that was right in front of the Everton faithful, and I mean, they made some great noise tonight as well. They appreciate this effort. And, if we see this every week, we're not going to complain. But, it comes down to playing these young guys. Because, I mean, the seniors, the experienced heads weren't giving enough. So, if it doesn't work, why keep going with the same shit that doesn't work? Try something different. And, I mean, Rafa's hand was forced today. And look, I mean, he said something about... I've seen this comment circulating a couple of weeks back. Rafa said, just because they're young players, it doesn't necessarily mean they're good players. I think in response to a question regarding them getting some game time. And, well, look, you give them game time, you see the results. Talking about the young guys, Anthony Gordon was probably the best player on the pitch for us, like in open play. He was just taking responsibility beyond his years, taking corners, taking free kicks, commanding the ball, then controlling the ball, facilitating play up the pitch. He was huge. And then Jarrad Branthwaite, first game of the year, first goal in his career, signed a new contract this year. What a great start to his season. And you think, well, why hasn't he gotten more time? I've got absolutely no idea. But I reckon Holgate could, get the boot and be sent to the bench. Because, I mean, you cannot, you have to reward a performance like that. He was very strong tackling-wise, very firm. Not too much got past him. Bit shaky earlier on, but... that was the case with pretty much everyone. So yeah, once, the fullbacks come back in, Luca Dean if he does, Seamus Coleman if he does, John Joe Kenny was good in his place today. Not like outstanding, but solid. But yeah, you'd have to say Branthwaite needs to be in the starting 11 from here on out, at least until Yerry Mina comes back. He also wasn't afraid to take the ball forward, which is a great thing to see. Same with Ben Godfrey. He was great on the on the outer side, usually. Or just, yeah, whatever side he was playing on. He was good bringing the ball up. Very attacking. I think, at the start of the second half, you could see there was a bit of a mentality shift. We were looking to be a bit more aggressive, a bit more attacking. Obviously, it exposed us for the goal we conceded, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But he was a part of those few early runs that I think got our confidence up a little, and then we weren't afraid to take more opportunities. And yeah, look, we should have had a couple more chances, but I mean, I said it when I was streaming the game, and I'll say it now. The problem with having these youthful guys in is the fact that they don't have enough class to finish it off. Like, they have enough class to bring the ball up, but it's always that last step that we failed with. Not enough class there. Simple as that. Alex Iwobi, get him off the damn pitch. He had an open pass to Doucouré on a counter attack, and he decided to hold it up for some reason and turned it over. We had a lot of situations like that where we had the outnumber and we didn't maximize it. We weren't able to release a player because we got tackled too soon, or we were too long in terms of reacting to the situation. But, it's a learning experience for these guys, and the more exposure you give them in first team football, the better they'll get. So we saw that today with Anthony Gordon and Branthwaite. So these guys need to be rewarded. They're playing for the jumper, they're playing for the badge, they're doing everything they need to win. So I think it's going to be a very interesting scenario when, we get a lot of our guys back in. That's if we get a lot of our guys back in, to see how these young guys, they slot in. Because hopefully, even if these guys come back in, hopefully we're not, or Rafa's not faltering to, pressure or what he's like, or what performances, or what he's seen from them in the past, just based on numbers and stats in the books, like they've played this many games. I hope he doesn't look at that. I just hope he looks at, what they've delivered in their performances this season and more recently, because at the heart of it all is, your passion to play for the team you're playing for. And we saw that today. We'll talk about the goal now. Basically, we were being very aggressive, as I said, in the second half, and that ultimately left us exposed at times. I mean, generally, we've usually tried a midfield three to sort of provide a little bit of a cushion for the back line, but obviously that wasn't there. It was just Gomez and Doucouré in the middle, and then the back five. So I think Doucouré lost it. He did this nice little attacking run, lost the ball, ended up on the ground, and he wasn't able to get back in time. There was just a huge outnumber. The back five weren't able to deal with it. I mean, it was a bit shit. Like, we needed to be better marking Mason Mount, but it was a good finish nonetheless. They needed a goal on the board. I mean, 23 shots. If they ended up with no goals and we had a clean sheet, it would have been an absolutely diabolical performance from Chelsea. Obviously, they'll be kicking themselves because they lost 2 points. But at least they, didn't lose, because, I mean, that would have been an entirely new discussion altogether for Chelsea fans. But regardless, this draw, even though we only came away with a point, is absolutely huge for confidence. I want to see these kids play more. I really do. And, it's just a shame we haven't really seen too much from them this year. Leicester has been postponed as well, may add. So we will have Burnley on the 27th/the 26th. If you're in the UK, it'll be Boxing Day. That's going to be a very intriguing contest. We need to beat these teams though now. We're entering a patch where there's going to be a lot of teams we're playing that are below us on the table. So we really need to capitalize on the matchups and pick up the 3 points in as many fixtures as possible. Obviously, injuries aren't on our side, but in saying that, I don't care. If you can play with heart like tonight with, a decimated squad. I mean, on paper, we looked absolutely horrific. Like, one of the worst teams on paper I've seen in recent memory. But you know what? If we can deliver like that, and, these kids are playing, way beyond their years. Very mature performance, very resilient performance. If they can just deliver that every week, simple stuff, you know, there was more pressing than I've ever seen in quite a while, even though we only had 20% possession. You know, some of Chelsea's possession was rushed. They were a bit, you know, on the ball. Their touches were a bit heavy. You know, that was as a result of our pressure. And, you know, if you can keep doing that and winning the ball in the right places and then attacking on the counter like we did today, you know, I'm happy for you to do that. I'm happy for you to only have 20% possession. But yeah, in recent weeks, I feel like that counter-attacking football hasn't been really counter-attacking football because we get the ball and then lose it straight away. But this time around, you know, we got the ball in not so deep an area, so we didn't really lose it almost immediately. And then, you know, we're able to create a bit of attack on our own. You saw that more in the second half. There were plenty of opportunities. And yeah, the Jarrad Branthwaite goal was just a product of, you know, our hard work, basically. Anthony Gordon, beautiful cross. Branthwaite on the end of it. Great read. Simple as that. Anyway, we will see how we go against Burnley. It's going to be an interesting contest nonetheless. They usually cause us some problems. We played them earlier in the season and we won 3-1, so hopefully we can repeat that at Turf Moor. But that is going to be it from me. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.